Y'all ready for this?
What's up? How y'all feeling? It is a Minds Up moment. Oh man, it's going down tonight. Well, I promised you guys that I was going to do this 7 days. And I promise you, this was like a little test for me because I was kind of tired and I was just like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. You know, that voice that kind of comes in your head. And I realized that that is actually a part of the 7 things you need to change your life, is to learn how to quiet that voice that gives you every reason why you can't do something or why you shouldn't do something. And whenever you hear that voice, allow that to be the very moment that you take action and you do exactly what that voice is telling you to do. So I'm up, I'm here, I've arrived, I'm present, and I showed up. Why did I show up? I showed up for you. I showed up for me. I showed up for us because we are one. And it is definitely my objective to make sure that we all really, really stick to the plan and take action to do the 7 things that we need to change our lives so that 2016 can be like the best year ever. And I know most of the time people say it every year. Next year is going to be my year. Next year is going to be my year. But you know what happens is we say that, but most of us don't really put a complete plan into place in order for us to take action. Sometimes we even set goals, but we don't set up a backup plan that if something comes up, what are we going to do to make sure that it still happens? Because as I stated, that voice was sure in my head telling me, oh, tomorrow. And I had to really tell it to settle down, simmer down. Why? Because I made a commitment, and I made a commitment to be here for you. And I'm here. I'm here. So, minds up, everybody. Minds up from my heart to yours. Thank you guys for tuning in, whether you're tuning in live right now or whether you're listening to the replay. No matter what, you are going to get a dose of my feel good energy. Because I'm sending it out to you. And once I send it to you and I contaminate you with my high vibe, then you're going to be feeling good. And then you're going to pass that high vibe on to other people. And that's what it's about. That's what transition is about. That's what ascension is about. It's about us all raising our vibration, raising our level of consciousness so that it really is each one teach one, or reach out and touch one, because we are all making a huge impact on the way the world is turning out, you know, at this particular point in time. So for those of you who are just getting to know me, first of all, I want to thank several of you who joined the group today, Divinely Enlightened and Chosen, because we are divinely enlightened and chosen. You know, I know sometimes it's a challenge to be around people who are getting there a little bit slower, but that is also a part of our test. That is, they are there not really to slow us down, but to teach us how to actually remain in our absolute oneness and in our essence, our true essence, regardless to what's going on around us, because that is the trick, is to get us distracted and disturbed so that we don't follow through on what it is that we're supposed to do. So let me get this out the way. All right, so my name is Takiyah Diamond. I am a mindset life coach, I teach life transformation. What is that? It is teaching people how to transform their lives by changing their way of thinking, by rewiring the brain, by shifting your mindset into one of abundance, shifting your mindset to one of accomplishments, one of prosperity, just shifting it all around, and building a blueprint for you to help you know what to do and when to do it so that you can get it done. So whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, that's what I'm here for, to help you transform and get to that place that you're seeking to finally reach. Whatever it is, it could be goals, if you're trying to set goals and things that you're trying to accomplish. And sometimes we all might need a little bit of assistance, getting there. Sometimes it's not always easy trying to get there on our own. So as a mindset life coach, that's where I step in and hold your behind accountable. I hold you accountable for what it is that you said that you want to see in your life. So if you tell me that you want to see something and I create a plan for you, I have expectations that you are going to do what it is that you're supposed to do. Okay. With that also being said, I definitely tonight's session, actually all this week, the session is going to be about my new book as an author, 7 Things You Need to Change Your Life. Now, most of you know this is not my first book. My first book is called Get Your Life Together. And Get Your Life Together basically is for people who are kind of like just coming into the awakening, people who are just kind of knowing that something different is happening, but maybe not totally able to really put their hands on exactly what to do about it and how to make some changes, or they want to make some changes, but they just don't really have that clarity. So Get Your Life Together, it takes everyday scenarios that we go through in our lives, and it actually shows you how you end up in the situation and how to respond rather than react the next time that you face, any type of situations that may come up in your life. So that's that book. Then the follow-up book was Wisdom Words of Consciousness. And that was a book of quotes. It's also a book that teaches you about manifestation. It teaches you about visualization. And it teaches you about the first thing I mentioned when we got on this hangout tonight, which was vibration. It teaches you to understand what vibration that you're emanating out when you are acting a certain way, or when you are emotionally feeling a certain way. Because with all due respect, our emotions create a lot of what it is that we see. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he, or so shall be. It's just so many different ways that they put on the end of it, but it all means the same thing. What you think is what becomes. What you feel, you make real. And that's just really the gist of it, at the end of the day. So that book is very powerful if maybe you've already come into the awakening and you're kind of already aware of how your thoughts control your reality, but sometimes you need like a little pick me up, or you need something to just kind of remind you, because you know how the mind works. The mind will by default take you back to your old thinking patterns. So if you're not doing something every single day to empower yourself or encourage yourself or to stay on track, it's very easy to unconsciously just kind of fall back into your old thinking patterns and behaviors that have already created the life that you see today. And my objective is to kind of pull you out of that way of thinking and bring you into a new mindset that will result in a transformed life. Okay, so the book that we're talking about right now is seven things you need to change your life. Yes, 7 little measly things that can make a huge difference in your life. So I want to tell you all the web on my website. This book is absolutely free. I am giving this book away for free because I am really, really adamant from the bottom of my heart wanting to see people do something different for 2016. It's the year of the 9. It is one of the most powerful years. We are going to be supported by so many different energies that will be available to us to assist us, whether it's the angelic beings, whether it is the ascended masters, whether it is Jesus Christ, God himself. I mean, there's just going to be so many open doors for us to be able to get the guidance and the assistance that we need in order to really break free from whatever it is that may be hindering our blessings, hindering our prosperity, hindering our goals, hindering what we came here for, to just shift through all of this stuff and go back to our true essence of who we were, to be I'm not even say who we were, who we are to begin with. You know what I mean? So it's like, we agreed to this assignment. I don't remember agreeing, but that's what I've been told, that we agreed to come here and be a part of this matrix system. And you know what? We're here. And I must say that the journey has been wonderful for me. Like, I've just been learning so many different things. I've just been meeting so many amazing people. And my level of thinking is just on a whole nother mindset. Like, I don't even view the world the way that I used to view the world. I mean, it's just an amazing thing to actually experience. So as a life coach, I do help people overcome their consistent negative thinking patterns and beliefs that actually bring about fear, doubt, shame, guilt, and many other emotional energies that not only disable the possibilities of you living a transformed life, but a lot of our thought patterns actually affect our health. So when we're going to talk about that at another time, but when we are dealing with illnesses, whether it be cancer, diabetes, heart conditions, and things of that nature, a lot of it stems from stress. And where does stress come from? Because we give our thoughts form. Everything is consciousness, everything is energy. And the moment that a thought or belief comes in, once we begin to focus on that, it's like we give it life. Other than that, it just is. Just like anything else. Like, if we was to take 2 seconds and just be still and just observe what's going on around us, we will see everything stand still, because everything just is. But we are the ones that give it form. And the moment that we give it form, we bring it alive. We make it come alive, So in any case, what I want us to do is go ahead and get started. I'm going to give you some wonderful tips at the end of the chapter on some things that you can do to stay on track. All right. So again, 7 things you need to change your life. So let's briefly go over a slight intro of where we're going when we go into chapter 1. So chapter 1 tonight is going to be the first thing that you need to change is your attitude. Yes. Got to change your attitude. So we have to shift our attitudes to an attitude of gratitude. And that is so important. So I'm going to briefly go through the chapter, and then we're going to talk a little more about some things that you can do to stay in gratitude. Because in order for you to receive, you really do have to understand how important it is to be grateful for the things that you already have in order to receive greater. So And it says, I can pretty much detect that you're ready to find out just what you need to change your life. Releasing habitual behaviors can be pretty challenging, but it must be done if you want to see something different. Trust me, I know. You've probably tried 1,000 times to figure out what else can you possibly do that won't leave you in confusion about why you're not moving ahead. Well, with just a few little adjustments, you'll find the things that I share with you today pretty simple, but resulting in big changes. Now, following these steps will help you become consciously competent, which means aware. It will make you become aware. You'll start to notice, okay, things that you may be doing, that you are repeating, old habits that have you stuck, and you'll want nothing more than to happily kick them to the curb. And once you kick them to the curb, that's when life gets smooth sailing. So being able to recognize when you're off track is the number one hint that you're on the right track. This guide is going to give you clarity on a few things that can really help you see a difference. But you must promise me one thing. You're probably asking me, what is that? When those old patterns try to come back, and you can bet your bottom dollar they will try to come back, you show them who is the boss. You're the boss. You're in control of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. So when they come up, again, they will show up, especially when you're trying to change and go into a new direction. But just promise me that you show them who's the boss. You'll remain in control, stay in your power. So as long as that is the deal, shake my hand on that. Awesome. Now, let's begin changing your story, because everything that you've learned before today, you'll begin to recognize it was just a story. You'll begin to change the things that you need to change your life. All right. So, number one, change your attitude, show gratitude. We have tons to be grateful for. Yet, by default, it seems normal to give our attention to those things that we're not too happy about. The truth is, it's never what you're looking at. It's how you choose to feel about what it is that you see. When it looks like things aren't quite going the way that you want them to, look on the bright side. This too shall pass. There are several things that you can still be grateful for. Now, often we don't see the blessings that are already in our midst because we're so focused on what's going wrong. No matter what obstacles you may come up against, have faith that something good is going to come out of them that has your name written all over it. You may wonder, what can I be grateful for in the midst of this storm? I can help you answer that. If you're reading this book, that alone is something to be grateful for, because you are still here to change it. In this case, if you're watching this video, it is something to be grateful for because you are still here to change it. Are you working but really not happy at your place of employment? Well, there you go. You're working. You have a job. Think about the person who doesn't have a job at all and wish they had your job to go to so that their stress loads would be lighter. You have a means to an income that can help you along the way. Even if it doesn't pay $2,000 a week or maybe even $20,000 a month, it still helps you put food on the table for you and your family. And if you're providing for a family, be thankful that you even have a family. Some people walk the earth never even knowing who their family members are. And others grow old wondering whatever even happened to their family that they had before they even became ill. And if you manage to hold on this far through the challenges, know that it gets greater later. Your best is yet to come. It's imperative to shift the attitude that we have about life. Everything we go and grow through is just an experience. Without the lessons, how much farther can we grow in order to know which way to go? Setups for come ups are always in plain sight, but you will never see the opportunity until you change your perception about why it appeared in the first place. When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And that's a quote by Wayne Dyer. Now, this gratitude that I'm speaking of, it also includes looking for the good in yourself as well. I have to say that because sometimes we don't really appreciate ourselves. But let me get back into the book. Dear me, you're awesome, strong, marvelous, loved, smart, and special. I just thought I would remind you of that. Love me. Sounds great, right? Sometimes you have to remind yourself just how great you are. Now, how many times a day do you judge yourself? I want you to name 3 things that you judge or complain about what happens to be about you. 3 things. What 3 things did you complain about that happen to be about you? All right, I'm sure by now you got it. All day, I hear people judge themselves with things such as my nose is too big, my butt is too flat, I hate my hair, and the list goes on. So go ahead. Did you pick 3 of your own? That was easy, wasn't it? Of course it was. You're a pro at putting yourself down, but barely focus on your great qualities, such as your big heart, your funny personality, and your savvy style that makes you unique. Remind yourself daily just how wonderful you are. Focusing on what you see in the mirror or think about your life, your weight, your marriage, etc., is not serving you. Nor is it serving your subconscious mind, who will always give you what you ask for. Good or bad, it follows your orders by your thoughts and emotions. What you think about, you bring about. Therefore, those negative images that you have of yourself won't ever change. What you feel, you make real. You are perfect just the way you are. I'm going to read this little thing to you that's in the book. It's a picture and it's a quote, and I'm just going to read it to you, and then we take it from there. We'll hop back in. Now, if you had a friend who spoke to you in the same way that you sometimes speak to yourself, sabotaging yourself, looking in the mirror, saying, I'm ugly, I don't like this, I'm not good enough, all these things. If you had a friend who spoke to you like that about you, how long would you allow that person to remain your friend? You probably wouldn't stay friends with that person very long. You would feel like that person doesn't support you. You would feel like that person isn't really your friend at all. And this is what you're doing to yourself. You're not being a friend to you. So I'll hop back into the book. Now, the only reason that you have self-doubt is because when you think of yourself, you instantly jump into a fight against yourself with what others may think of you. Now, other people only think what they think about you because they're following a program system that tells them how to think about you, what you should look like, and how you should act. What others may be thinking really doesn't matter. But what you think is all that matters. God created awesomeness when He created you. Show gratitude for your health. Be grateful for your vision. Be thankful you can hear. And if you happen to lack any one of the things that I just mentioned, remember the other senses that you have and the abilities that you do have and the things that you can do. And just add that to the list of things that you're grateful for. Now, being grateful for all that you have already will open doors for more things to be grateful for to appear. Change your attitude. Show gratitude. There's so much to be grateful for. Yes, 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 yes. And it really, really is so much to be grateful for. Oftentimes, we don't really like to acknowledge, the other things to be grateful for. And it's not really to any fault of our own. Technically speaking, it's really just because we've been programmed to think more about what we don't have rather than focus on the great things that we do have. And because that happens, until we actually shift our consciousness and we change our way of thinking about what it is that we're thinking about, nothing will be different, so that's very important. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you an exercise that you can do to help you remain in gratitude. Okay. So remember what I stated to you earlier, that the more that you're grateful for what you already have, the more doors become open for you to receive more things to be grateful for. So it's imperative that we really, really learn to be grateful and thankful for what we do have rather than focusing on what we don't have. Okay? It will all work out. Sometimes we don't really see the way out of the storm, but there's always a way out. And sometimes we don't see it because we're in our own way of, seeing it. So we just got to get out of our own way. So, all right, let's see. Your morning exercise. Your morning exercise will be for you to get up. I mean, I'm not really sure how everybody wakes up. I know everybody has their own little methods of things that they might do. I know one of my good friends, whenever she gets out of bed, she makes sure that she always steps out of the bed with her right foot. Why? Because she's subconsciously programming herself that when she steps out of bed, she steps out on the right foot, which means her day will be right. Everything will go right because she's stepping out on the right foot. She's starting out on the right foot. So that might be something that you guys want to try. That when you finally do get out of bed or you first wake up, step out with your right foot so that you know that you're on the right track. All right. But that wasn't what I was going to say. But I did definitely want to add that in there. That's fine. All right. So in the morning, your exercise to do is, after you do whatever your normal ritual is in the morning, add this somewhere, whether you do it before you start your ritual, your daily ritual, or your after you get out of bed ritual. What you're going to do is think and speak out the things that you are grateful for. For example, I'm grateful for waking up this morning. I am grateful that I have my eyes to look out the window to be able to see the sunlight. I am thankful and grateful that I can actually feel my hands. I can sense my body. I can hear my breath. I am grateful and thankful for the covers and the sheets that are on my bed that kept me warm all night. I'm grateful and thankful for me even being able to sleep on a bed, on a mattress, rather than on a floor or on the ground as a homeless person. I'm grateful and thankful that I have my own room. I'm in my own space. I don't have to share my space with other people. Just, come up with at least 7 things. 7 is the magic number. So remember, we're doing 7 things you need to change your life to, and choose 7 things that you can actually be grateful for. Um, right. So you're going to name those 7 things. Now, before you go to bed, you're going to do the same thing before you lay down. You have to think about what you went through throughout the course of your day. Maybe some things didn't go all the way that you wanted them to. But in the midst of that, there's some things that still went great. Or maybe your day was marvelous and everything went exactly the way that you wanted it to. You want to show gratitude for that. You want to be grateful for that. So you may say, I'm grateful and thankful that I had my car to drive to get to where I needed to get to today. I'm grateful and thankful that I was able to have gas in my vehicle to be able to get to where I needed to today. I'm grateful and thankful that the heat works inside my car or the air works inside my car. I'm grateful and thankful that along the way, I met this wonderful person that was able to help me today with my problem or give me clarity on what it was that I needed assistance with today. I'm grateful and thankful that I actually have a job to go to. I'm grateful and thankful that my boss was nice to me today. I'm grateful and thankful for the cup of coffee that I drank today. It was so delicious. It got me up. It started my day and I felt great. Whatever it is, you just want to look for the things that maybe sometimes we don't really acknowledge that we really do need to be grateful for, because again, showing that gratitude, having an attitude of gratitude is what opens the door. I can't stress this to you enough. If you feel like you're struggling and trying to accomplish things, begin to be grateful. Begin to express how grateful you are for things, and it will definitely open up some doors for you. So 7 things, 7 things. And when you think about these 7 things, I want you to focus on how it makes you feel. I want you to focus on, did it make you feel happy? Did it make you feel content? Again, remember, we're searching for good things. I mean, even if something happened that wasn't so great, there was also a lesson in whatever it was that you needed to learn, whether it's a consequence that you had to pay for a bad decision that you made before in the past, or whatever it was. You still be grateful and thankful for the lessons, because those lessons are also a part of your journey. The lessons are what's helping you be a bigger person or a better person now than whom you used to be. So we just want to be mindful, be and pay attention to our feelings. Just try to choose things that will make you feel good, because ultimately that is the objective. The objective is to feel good. So if you feel good, you keep your vibration pretty high and you'll be able to manifest whatever it is that you desire. Therefore, your life will change, because you won't be in a place of neediness, of feeling like you need this or that in order to accomplish it, because you just call it to you. But we get into that chapter a little later on this week, so I'm not going to go into manifestation. I do want to remind you that the world is a big ball of light. Everything is energy. Everything is just consciousness. So when we are focusing our thoughts on things that we don't want, we are putting out this energetic vibration into this field of energy. And as I was just saying, not even recognizing it, this was next on my agenda. We call that to us. So if we're consistently being frustrated, there was nothingness before you adopted that emotion of being frustrated. You could have easily just said, all right, this didn't really go the way that I wanted it to. So what was the lesson in this? All right. You take the lesson as your blessing and you keep it moving. But the point that I want to make on this is that in that big ball of consciousness, you choose what goes in there. You make a choice of what goes in there. So if your vibration is high and you get to choose what goes in there and you put love in that bubble, maybe you put hope in that bubble, maybe you put kindness in that bubble, whatever it is that is going to make you feel good is what you need to put in that bubble. And you can even hold this a space for this in it. You can even hold a space for someone else in this bubble, whether it's your child or your mate, and you call all these great things forward to them as well, because sharing is caring. When we help someone else, we help ourselves. And that's where a lot of people get a little mixed up at. I don't think they really realize that everything is like me, 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 I. But it isn't always about the I, it's about the we. Collectively, we are one. So, don't be afraid to hold a space for someone else who may also need to receive that love or that compassion or that kindness that you're putting in that bubble for yourself. Put it in a bubble for someone else so that they too will be able to experience the same thing. So you want to pay attention to your thoughts. Recognize, where are my thoughts going? Do a check-in. Set an alarm on your phone for maybe like every 2 hours or every hour and an hour, however often you decide you want to do it, maybe 3 times a day. And when the alarm comes on, allow it to flash across your screen. What am I grateful for right now? What am I grateful for right now? And what is it that I'm thinking about that I'm creating? Those are 2 things that I want to. And you can switch them up. Like you can make 1 hour say, what am I grateful for right now? And then 2 hours later, they can say, what am I grateful and thankful for right now? What am I thinking about right now? So that way you can just kind of keep it balanced and even, and just pay attention to what you were really thinking about at that moment or what you are creating. Because anytime that you're not thinking for yourself, something else is thinking for you, which means you're not creating the life that you want to live. Your life is being created for you by default, and it's mainly by the different programmings that have been downloaded into your subconscious mind that are consistently running every day, ongoing. How sometimes you just like, oh my God, I'm so tired of thinking, but your mind is on autopilot. So until you actually train it, utilizing different tools such as meditation and yoga and things of that nature to actually keep your mind balanced, then your brain could kind of, well, your mind could kind of run all over the place or whatever. So you definitely want to get a handle on that. And I guess the main thing I wanted to remind you is to remember that what you put out, you get back. So if you put out a bad attitude, you're going to get some bad results. But if you put out an attitude of gratitude, you're going to get some great results. Things will change for you. And that's what it's all about. So with that being said, I want you guys to keep going. Don't stop. That was just number 1. I hope you enjoyed chapter 1 of 7 things you need to change your life. I hope that this information has helped you, and I hope that you please I don't hope nothing. Follow the steps that I have given you for your morning and evening exercises. It is going to help you. I promise. Within 3 days, you're going to feel different. Just by step 1 alone, you're going to feel different. And you're going to recognize there's a lot of things that you can be grateful for in the midst of any adversary. you know. Any adversity that may come up against you, you'll realize that you're so blessed that you won't even see adversity anymore as adversity. You'll just see them as opportunities to experience something different, and an opportunity to choose your thoughts and be in control of your emotions. So, if you look at it from that place, you'll be able to see things a lot differently. So, with that being said, I love you. Mind's up, mind's up. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in to the 7-day mindset reset. Mind's up. 7 things you need to change your life. We're going to get this New Year's on and popping. We are going to be great because we already are great. We just have to line up vibrationally with our greatness and learn to be grateful for what we already have so we can be open to receive more things to be grateful for. Have a blessed night. Stay in tune and aligned. Stay in love. Continue to raise your vibration. Continue to help other people. And I don't know. Mine's up. All right. Good night, guys.
Gather round, friends, and let's tell you a story.